imagine that there is one thing that you could do to not only be happier and more energized at work, but to also increase your confidence and resilience. And the best thing, imagine that this secret ingredient would also increase your motivation and engagement and help you in reaching your goals, getting results, and performing at a much higher level. Sounds intriguing, doesn't it? Now, in case you wonder what it is, the good news is we all have access to this success ingredient, which is our strengths. In this video, we're going to explore how you can leverage your strengths to tap into your potential to not only succeed at work, but to also create a career you thrive in. Hi there and a very warm welcome to the channel. My name is Sabine Renner. I'm an organizational psychologist, leadership and personal development coach and trainer, and researcher in the field of positive psychology. On this channel, you will find proven and actionable tips, tools and strategies that will help you take the lead, thrive in your career, and succeed at work and beyond. Okay, now without further ado, let's get into it and review the 5 steps that will help you in putting your strengths to work. Here we go. Step number 1, aware. The first step is really about becoming aware of what your strengths are so that you can make the right choices that will steer your career in a direction where you can build on your strengths and by doing so, tap into your potential and be your best self. How to discover your strengths? Well, in case you haven't had a chance to watch last week's video, please check it out either later or pause this video right now to have a look. Because in last week's video, we explored what strengths actually are, and the answer to that might be surprising, and revealed 5 different approaches that help you defining your unique portfolio of strengths. Step number 2, analyze. The second step is all about taking a closer look at your strengths to understand how you can use them in the most effective and impactful way. Now let's quickly recap from last week's video that a strength is something that we not only do well, but that also energizes us as we engage in it. And it is so important to differentiate these strengths from actually pure competencies, which can also be referred to as learned behavior, which is behavior that we can actually do well, but that really drains us from an energetical point of view. Now, for us, in order to experience that sense of flow and high levels of performance, we really want to be in our strength zone or zone of genius. And in order for us to get there, it is so crucial to better understand how we can put our strengths to work, which means that we have to contextualize them. How to do it? Well, look at your list of strengths from step 1 and then ask yourself for each one of them a couple of questions to, first of all, analyze the status quo. Here, you could ask yourself the following questions. How are you currently using these strengths? How does this strength align with what you are doing at work right now? How does it look like when you apply these strengths? What exactly are you doing? And what are the results or the contributions that it allows you to make? Then, secondly, you want to create a compelling vision for the future and analyze how you can align your strengths with what matters to you. So ask yourself, what is it that you want to achieve? What are your goals and objectives in the short, mid, and long term? In which way could you combine several of your strengths so that they become actually one of your superpowers? In which way could you use one of your strengths or several of them to compensate for something that you either don't enjoy doing or that you're simply not good at? And which strengths would you like to develop further? What could be opportunities to do so? This last question really focuses on your so far unrealized strengths, the strengths that you perform well, that energize you, but that you rarely engage in. Now, by focusing on these and bringing more of these unrealized strengths to work, you can actually tap into a huge potential that is already within you and that is just waiting to be unleashed. Step 3. Articulate. Once you know what your strengths are and you have analyzed how you can put them into practice in the best possible and most impactful way, it is time to share your findings with others. It's time to articulate what your strengths are and create what I would call a unique strengths brand message. Within that message, you want to address 2 questions. What strengths would you like to be known for? And how can these strengths help you in creating value for others by making a contribution or achieving results that are of relevance to them? Let's look into an example. So imagine you work in the field of research and development and you're curious, analytical, and you have an eye for details. You focus on solutions and you're able to convey complex topics in an easy to understand way. Your strengths brand message could sound like this. It is my mission to develop the best-in-class, highly innovative products that help our clients excel. My curiosity and analytical rigor help me stay on top of the latest trends, while my attention to detail and focus on pragmatic solutions allow me to convert these findings into tangible solutions. My ability to distill complex ideas and to express them in a simple and clear way helps us in developing a common language with our clients, understanding their needs, and designing tailored solutions. So this is just one example as a source of reference and inspiration. What would your unique strengths message look like? Step 4. Apply. Now, based on your findings from the previous steps, I highly recommend that you also take the time to create an action plan, a strengths roadmap that will help you put more of your strengths to work. What is it that you can specifically do to be more in your zone of genius or strength zone? Here are 5 ideas. The first idea is really about looking at your current tasks and responsibilities. Could you use more of your strengths in performing them? If so, what could be a good first step? Also, you want to explore whether there are any additional new possibilities that could bring you closer to your strength zone. Maybe you could volunteer for a project or a new responsibility that would allow you to strengthen and showcase your strengths so that others can notice them. Also, think about sharing your strengths with your manager, ideally in your next performance review and development plan conversations. In this regard, the strengths brand message that you crafted in step 3 will be a priceless resource for you. And again, what is key here is to answer the questions: what are your strengths? How do you put them to work or plan to put them to work? And what are the benefits and contributions, not only for you, but also for the team, the organization, and its clients? Why should it actually matter to them? Make sure that you have a crystal clear answer to that, and to have a case that makes it easy for others to help you in putting your strengths to work. Linking your strengths to contributions and results that matter in the bigger picture will also help you in negotiating any changes to your existing role and responsibilities. Idea number 4 is about becoming a strength spotter yourself and helping your colleagues in identifying their strengths. Think about giving them strengths-based feedback. How to do it? Well, just observe what tasks your colleagues are doing well, where do they deliver, and when do they seem to be in the flow. And then I would like to invite you to put your strengths spotting glasses on, a tip that I learned from my dear colleague Alexandra Hannebohm, and to ask yourself what strengths is shining through. Knowing each other's strengths can be super powerful, as it allows you to support and complement each other when needed. This might also allow you to discuss whether and how to reallocate certain responsibilities in a way that allows everybody to be more in the zone of their unique strengths. And then, last but not least, if you are a manager and you have the opportunity to delegate work to your team members, again, embrace being a strength spotter. Try to identify the strengths of your team members and ask yourself what kind of opportunities you could offer that allow them to bring in their strengths. What tasks and responsibilities that are outside of your strength zone could you delegate to others that have complementing strengths? By doing so, you not only reduce your own workload and align with your zone of genius, you also create an environment in which others have the opportunity to do what they do best, which, according to a research study performed by Gallup Institute, is a huge driver for engagement and performance. Now, before we close today's video, there's one more step, the 5th A, and that relates to pay attention. While I am actually a huge advocate of putting our strengths to work, I think that we have to do so in a very wise and intentional way, keeping the following 3 aspects in mind. The first aspect really relates to the idea of where there's light, there's also shadow. When it comes to using our strengths, we should be careful to not overuse them in such a way that they become a liability, an obstacle to our success. To give you an example, imagine one of your strengths is your attention to detail. While this strength, like any other strength, has many positive side effects to it, you want to make sure that you don't overstretch it, meaning that you don't get stuck in details and that you know when to settle for good enough, so that you can still move on and close tasks and assignments in an effective way. The second aspect relates to the importance of being open-minded and willing to, from time to time, move outside of our strengths comfort zone to allow us to build skills and gain experience that are crucial for career opportunities that are meaningful to us. And then, last but not least, a few words about weaknesses. Should we ignore them and just focus on our strengths? Strengthening our strengths is typically much more rewarding and promising than fixing our weaknesses. At the same time, it is, however, important to understand which one of these weaknesses could become a hurdle for us along on our career path. And if we cannot find ways to balance these, for example by working with others who complement us or by delegating the respective tasks, well, then it might be worth working on them to at least move them into neutral territory so that they don't hold us back. I hope you find this video helpful in putting your strengths to work. Hit the subscribe button to stay tuned to learn more proven and actionable tips, tools and strategies that will help you take the lead, thrive in your career and succeed at work and beyond. And in case you would like to learn more about how you can discover your strengths, have a look at this video. Thanks so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.